All that white hair, and he couldn't be more than 35. She stared, open-mouthed.
"At least have the courtesy to shut your mouth while you stare at me,"
he said, each word scraping out exactly as her boots had on the walkway moments before. He held out a hand. She hesitated, swallowed hard, and then finally slipped her hand into his. His hand was warm, and she couldn't help but be surprised by this. She had half expected his touch to have the cold chill of death on it. He pulled her to her feet, yanked her right up, and she stood in his shadow, for he was very tall indeed, panting, trying to collect her thoughts.
"Well,"
he said, a sneer twisting his features. Was he handsome? "I'm sorry," she said, her brain scrambling for words. "The agency sent me, sir. I'm here for the position." She chanced one more look. She couldn't help it. His face was too young, too beautiful, and too strong for that white hair. And those eyes, God help her, those eyes. He said nothing, merely watched her as she watched him. He seemed determined to shock her, unconcerned as he was with his half-dressed state.
"Have you seen enough?"
he finally asked. A touch of sleep lingered in the drawl of his voice, giving him an almost casual arrogance. "I apologize," she said, busying herself by leaning down to pick up her valise. "I was surprised, and all the lights startled me." He sniffed and shook his head.
"The agency sent you. And who exactly are you? And why did you come to my door at this ungodly hour?"
"Heatherton." She extended her hand. "Penrose Heatherton." He didn't take it. His eyes held hers. She thought of the crystal rainbow from the chandelier, the colors shifting, changing. Finally, he said,
"Tell me, Miss Heatherton."
"Yes?" She held her hand extended for another moment, a bit too long, before pulling it back and wringing both hands together awkwardly.
"Miss Heatherton,"
he repeated, his southern drawl low and conspiratorial.
"Why in the world are you knocking on my door at the break of dawn?"
"The agency told me to arrive at 7 a.m. This wasn't going well, she realized. Not at all as she had imagined it, for a lot of different reasons.
"PM,"
he said harshly.
"Post-meridium, or generally speaking, in the evening. I told the agency specifically that I needed the applicant to show up at 7 p.m.
"Oh," she said foolishly, feeling the blush rise in her cheeks. His gaze skipped over hers, lowered to her lips and returned once again to her eyes.
"That's right. P.m."
he said slowly.
"So, not only are you a full day early, you reported at the wrong time. I was asleep and now you've woken me."
"I'm so sorry." The blush in her cheeks must be red as fire because her face burned.
"I'm certain you've noticed my affliction. I am cursed with paleness, a lack of pigment, albinism."
His chin jutted into the air defiantly.
"It does not lend itself to sunlight. I keep night hours, and I'm very protective of them."
He sighed, and those unapologetic eyes didn't look away from her.
"But you're here, though I specifically requested someone who wasn't attractive. Makes it easier."
Those eyes still rested on her. The heat on her face grew to volcanic levels.
"I take it you can read and write?"
"Of course."
"How's your eyesight?"
"Perfect." He nodded.
"And your hands? Can you handle fine tools and small mechanical parts, smaller than a fingernail?"
"I'm very sure-handed."
"You can work the night through, adjust to my schedule?"
"Certainly."
"Good. It's what I value most, that and discretion."
He stepped aside the slightest bit to make room for her, forcing her to brush against him as she entered.
"Come in."
She took in the interior of the house with a few quick glances. White marble floors, a high ceiling, 2 floors high, stairs that curled in an elegant arc to the second floor, archways that led to other rooms. A huge grandfather clock began to chime. Sheets covered the furniture and paintings as if the house were bedded down while its owners were away.